Okay, Randall MRueff reporting. The Canon EOS photographer, Randall MRueff. Today is Tuesday, December the 15th, 2015 AD. It's a little after 10 p.m. And in this video, I want to talk to you about the 1D X versus the 1D C. As of yesterday, I saw the price for the 1D X is now at $39.99, or basically $4,000, which is half the price of the 1D C on the right. And the only real difference is the fact that the 1D C on the right does 4K, and the one on the left, the 1D X, does 1080p video. They're both 18.1 megapixel pictures. They both do 12 frames per second, or 14 with the mirror locked up. They have all the same buttons, all the same settings, except that the 1D C has the ability to do 4K video. That's the only difference. It's got one bonus feature and some hardware and software to go along with it, of course, but basically it's got one feature. It does 4K video. That's the only difference between these two cameras, other than the C and the X. Of course, they have different lenses on, and these two pictures have different lenses, but the cameras themselves have nothing to differentiate them, except for the fact that the 1D C does 4K video and costs $4,000 more. Which means that you can now get two 1D Xs for the price of one EOS-1D C. Now, the 1D X originally retailed for $8,000. So that means since it came out, it has dropped in price by 50%. The 1D C original price was $15,000, and it's now come down to $8,000. So it's dropped in price by $7,000 since it came out. So there's rumors that the 1D X Mark II is coming out pretty soon, beginning of next year, end of January, middle of January. They'll probably have an announcement, and sometime before the summer they'll probably be released, or somewhere in the summer. That's usually how things go. But right now, 1D X, 1D C, $4,000 apart. And the only thing you get for the 1D C is the 4K, which is really amazing. So, really, right now, unless you really, really want 4K, which I do, I really do want 4K, the 1D X is the way to go. But I want 4K. I won't be able to do 4K. I'll say that. If I had the money, which I don't, for either one, but if I had the money to spend, I would still go with the 1D C, because I do want that 4K resolution. If I had enough money to get the 1D X, and some lenses, or just the 1D C, I would probably. That's kind of a hard one to answer, because there are some lenses I really would like to get. I don't know. It's just I would rather have the 1D C. But at $4,000 less, 50% price. First of all, I don't have money to do it. Again, don't have money to do the one. But ideally, I would like to get the 1D C because I want to do 4K video. 4K video is a really impressive thing right now. It's not the top of the line, but it's close to. For all intents and purposes, and I mean, having the ability to do 18.1 megapixel pictures and 4K video is very impressive right now. Now, in 10 years, I'm sure it won't be anything, but right now, it's very impressive. So, I would be happy with either one. I'll admit, I would love to have either one, but my dream right now is the 1D C, and I can't afford it. Actually, what I'm hoping is they're going to have an announcement pretty soon about the 1D X Mark II, which is supposed to have 4K and have really high. I mean, it already has amazing low light capabilities, but it's supposed to have even better autofocus points, better low light, higher resolution, just better in every way that a camera can be better. So I am curious to see whether the 1D X blows away the 1D C as far as capabilities and what comes inside and what you can do with it, and as far as low light and ISO and speed and resolution. Because I assume it's pretty much going to be the same form factor. 1D X Mark II will probably be the same. It's going to be approximately the same size and approximately the same body. The question is, what's the resolution going to be? What's the ISO range going to be? What's the speed going to be? Or as in how many frames per second? Is it going to have GPS? Is it going to have built-in Wi-Fi? These are the kind of things that we don't know yet. At least I don't. Obviously, I'm not on the inside of Canon, but right now it's $4,000, and the only difference is 4K. So, which would you choose? I'd love to hear your comments below. They're both very impressive cameras. The 1D C is just a little bit more impressive. So, part of me wants the 1D X, thinking if I had the money I'd pay less. But the real part of me wants the 1D C because it's better. Okay? Now, the real third part of me wants to wait and find out what the 1D X Mark II is going to be. What kind of capabilities it's going to have. 2, how those abilities are compared to the 1D C, and if they're going to have a 1D C Mark II or not, and what those capabilities would be, and if a 1D X Mark II, how it compares to a 1D C Mark II. So there's a lot of questions I just don't have the answer to yet. Right now, this very second, if I had my choice and I had the money, obviously the 1D C. It does everything the 1D X does, but it does 4K. And even though you're paying a lot for that 4K, I don't know. I mean, I'm just the kind of person I like my work to be as best as possible, and the 4K is a lot better than the 1080p, obviously. So, is it that important? Depends who you ask, I suppose. Now, would I get the 1D X, or would I buy the 1D X or the 1D C if I was one spending the money? To be honest, it really depends on how much money I had to spend. If I only had, let's say, $10,000, which would buy either one camera, obviously, and some lenses and accessories, I would probably, it's hard to say. No, not really. I'd probably go with the 1D X because there's some lenses I'd really like to get. Now, if I had $25,000, obviously I'd go for the 1D C, and then I can buy some lenses, etc., etc. It's just, I hate being poor. It sucks. They say that if you do what you love professionally, eventually you get paid for it. Well, so far I haven't gotten paid for it. Hopefully in time that will change, but as of right now it has not. I've got my work on Flickr, Facebook. It's not MySpace, but then nobody uses MySpace anymore. So Facebook, YouTube, Flickr, Google, some other places that I don't even use anymore. But the main ones are on Facebook and Flickr and YouTube. And of course Lulu, or don't forget Lulu. Lulu.com is where, it's LULU.com, is where you can buy them. So, but as of yet, it just hasn't come to be that people are buying it. So, Hopefully eventually they will, but right now they're not. So I don't have any money. At least not enough to buy either one of these cameras. I wish I did. So, I don't know. It's just depressing. I wish I did have the money. Of course, that's the story of my life. But 1D X, 1D C, only difference is 4K. I don't know. I don't know what else I want to say. There's a lot much to say, but I don't have the time or the energy. The video would be forever. So, until next time, I'm Canon EOS-1D for RandallMRueff. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. God bless. As always, keep taking those pictures. Bye.